Hello everyone, this is your host TrevCL, and welcome to another Pokemon Challenge video. With the new Sinnoh Remix Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl being released less than a week ago, I thought to actually go back and revisit the originals. In this video, we try to answer the question, can you beat Pokemon Diamond with only a single Cranidos? The Cranidos and Rampardos line has always been one of my favorites, both with their design and insane stat distribution. At the time of Gen 4's release, Rampardos sported the second highest attack stat in the game, only behind Deoxys' attack. While Cranidos isn't quite as powerful as its elders, it still sports an incredible base 125 attack, easily the highest attacking stat of any non-fully evolved Pokemon. Additionally, it actually ranks 6 spots higher than the literal Pokemon God. Who would win, God or one baby Pachycephalosaurus? Otherwise, Cranidos stats range from average at best to downright bad. 67 base HP and 58 base speed are definitely usable, but the defenses and special attack rank among the lowest you'll see in each of those respective categories. It is the definition of a glass cannon. Moving on to the learn sets of Cranidos, the TM learn set looks pretty fantastic, while the level up learn set leaves a lot to be desired. Cranidos only learns one physical stab move naturally, that being the incredibly all-or-nothing Head Smash at level 43. However, this is where the TMs come into play. While I just said that its base 30 special attack stat is among the lowest out there, the fact that Cranidos learns such powerful special moves like Thunder, Blizzard, and Fire Blast can more than make up for it. Add in the fact that you can buy these TMs infinitely before the 3rd gym, and I think that'll be a nice bridge from early to late game when we get our mainstays of Edgequake and Dual Dance. Let's finish off this intro portion by going over the rules. As always, only Cranidos can be used in battle. I'm changing up the item list rule a bit from the usual version, as I will not be using any items, including hold items in battle. I felt Cranidos had enough going for it already, so I figured I'd try to level the playing field difficulty wise. And lastly, no hacks, glitches, or cheats. I did use a program to check my IVs and hidden power type / base power, but did not alter the Cranidos in any way. With all that out of the way, let's try and beat this challenge. This is the part of the video where I usually reset my starter selection until I either get a good nature, looking for a plus attack or speed one in this case, or an IV spread that can't be passed up. It ends up being the second case, although I'm able to get this Cranidos on my first try. While a gentle nature isn't the most ideal nature, boosting special defense at the cost of lowering defense, it's far from the worst and way better than an attack or speed lowering nature. And would you look at those IVs? An average IV of 24 for each stat, while the attack is basically perfect. You'd be hard pressed to find a better legitimate IV spread, and this was again on my first try. In addition, I also got a base 70 hidden power ice. While not useful once I get to the Veilstone department store, this will be very helpful early on thanks to getting the hidden power TM as soon as Jubilife City. Before even heading to Jubilife, however, I spent about an hour and a half grinding on the second route of the game. Why, you may ask? Well, the second route contains Bidoof, Shinx, and Starly, which give out HP, attack, and speed EVs respectively. Right now, I'm unsure of what the final endgame strategy looks like, so I want to play it a bit safe and guarantee reaching certain stat thresholds. After reaching level 13, I feel like I've done enough early EV training to comply with said thresholds and move on with the story. I dispatched the 2 trainers in the trainer school to earn the hidden power TM and start making my way to Orborg and the first gym leader, Rourke. On the way, my rival challenges me to a battle, but with my overleveled Cranidos, he's simply a one-shot sweep. By the time I reach the first gym, I'm only slightly above Rourke's team in level due to higher experience requirements for level 1 up. I start the battle off against Rourke, my Cranidos versus his Geodude. As previously stated, Hidden Power Ice comes in clutch, OHKOing the Geodude. Against his incoming Onix, I decided to test out Rock Smash, since that would have been the strat if I couldn't use Hidden Power. After failing to 2-shot it even with a defense drop, I take out the Onix with an HB Ice after Rourke attempts to use a potion. His last is his own Cranidos, a mirror match of epic proportions. His Cranidos is actually able to take one Rock Smash just barely, while his pursuit brings me below half, in danger of fading to one more. With the speed EVs from earlier in addition to being one level higher, I am able to outspeed and end the mirror match in my favor. Later, in Floroma Town, I have my first big encounter with Team Galactic and Commander Mars. I was very assured of my victory, so I did not heal and went in with about 3/4 of my health. This nearly caused me a reset as I underestimated her Perugly. It was able to tank my hits quite well, and while I resisted her scratches, a crit put my victory in jeopardy. Luckily, Rock Smash was able to do just enough to claim the victory, so I didn't have to find out if I could live one more scratch. Gardenia, on the other hand, does prove to be a temporary roadblock. It's definitely not a good start when I couldn't even take out her lead Cherubi with a single headbutt. HP Ice does even less, so I decided to stick with headbutt on her Turtwig. I get a lucky flinch and I'm at her Roserade at full health. However, not only do I not outspeed, I am actually O-code from a single magical leaf. Uh-oh. Maybe it was just a roll that she got in her favor. Regardless, I grind up 2 more levels to 24 in hopes of either outspeeding or living a magical leaf. The battle goes basically the same way as the first time. Fail to take out the Cherubi in one hit, only killing it after Gardenia spends the turn healing. Then I once again hacks her poor Turtwig, this time with a crit. This is the moment of truth, and once again I am outsped and destroyed by a single attack. I could give it another try at this level and find out either if that magical leaf is a damage roll, or if I actually speed type the Roserade, but decided that the beginning of the battle is too hacks reliant, so back to grinding I go. It's finally on my 3rd attempt, this time at level 25, that things go my way. First off, her Cherubi now goes down to a single headbutt, leading to her very unfortunate Turtwig. I hope it's not a gambling man, as I for the 3rd time in a row, hacks it. The beginning of the battle has gone even better than the first 2, but we know it only matters if I can beat Roserade. I still do not outspeed, however we see a new move from Gardenia, Stun Spore. This allows Cranidos to get off a massive headbutt. A second one will be enough to take out Roserade, but it all comes down to if I can live the incoming magical leaf. Slowly, my HP bar drains. Just as it looks like this is the end of my 3rd attempt, I'm able to live on literally 1 HP, dodge the full paralysis, and assurance will be enough to bring it down to red HP. I then subsequently go down to a Grass Knot. Wow, talk about the choke of the century. I have no idea what my thought process was at the time, being that I recorded this footage back in May of 2020. Cursing out past me aside, the 4th attempt actually makes no sense at all. This is the one attempt where Turtwig was actually able to attack, dealing incredible damage with Grass Knot. I should have no chance in the world, but inexplicably, Gardenia goes for Poison Sting. To make this attempt even crazier, I then crit Assurance to take down both Roserade and Gardenia, quote unquote earning my 2nd badge. Hey, after the choke job of the 3rd attempt, I think I'll take this one and run with it. Unlike Commander Mars, the Commander Jupiter battle is about as easy as it could be. Granted, I was only 1 level higher than Perugly, as opposed to the 6 levels higher I am against Skuntank, but I digress. And would you look at that, the battle is already over. Now done with Team Galactic for the time being, the next destination is Heart Home City, and the next key battle is against my rival. He definitely puts up more of a fight than he did the first time, that's for sure. If it wasn't for a flinch against his Prinplup, I might have actually died to a torrent boosted water move. Otherwise, the rest of his team are easy one-shots. While Maylene, the 3rd gym leader, is in Veilstone, we've got Salacion Town to go through first on our travels. I'll put some of that footage here while I reminisce on what I said earlier about this evolution line being one of my favorites. Cranidos and Rampardos have always been Pokemon I wanted to use in a regular playthrough, but I've just never had the chance to use them. Growing up, I never had Diamond, as Pearl was my childhood game of choice, and while the Pearl exclusive Shieldon was cool I suppose, it just never came close to the glory of the dose. Even when I got Platinum, I seem to always forget that which fossil you can find in the underground depends on whether the last digit of your trainer ID was even or odd. By the time I remembered to check, I always had the number that would result in Shieldon. This Cranidos run from last year, and very recently playing through Brilliant Diamond with Rampardos, have been very enjoyable, and I'm glad I finally had the chance to use them. I want to ask you all, has there ever been a Pokemon you've really wanted to use in a playthrough, but never got the chance to at all, or at least until recently? Anyways, enough reminiscing, let's get back to the challenge. I reach Veilstone and head immediately to the department store. Not only do they have the powerful elemental TMs, of which I pick up Blizzard for now, they also have vitamins. I pick up 3 proteins to immediately feed to my already beefy Cranidos, and after grinding to level 33 to learn the very useful Zen Headbutt, it's time to take on Maylene. The next 4 gyms in Sinnoh are a bit of a boss rush, as in you can progress through them just as fast as you did the first 2 gyms. The first of these gyms is the fighting type leader, Maylene. Normally a rock type should greatly fear this gym, but Cranidos is no normal rock type. Meta-type goes down in a single headbutt, leading to the bulky Machoke. Thanks to my newly acquired Zen Headbutt, Cranidos also makes short work of it with a single hit. Lucario will take the same damage from Zen Headbutt and Rock Smash, and I know neither will kill without a crit. So I go for the flinch, but don't get it. If she had went for a fighting type move, I most likely would have died similar to Gardenia's Roserade, but I get Bone Rush, which allows me to finish off Lucario with a second Zen Headbutt. 3 badges down, 5 to go. While I immediately go to the 4th gym, I don't yet take on Crasher Wake and his terrifying water types. I know he leads with an Intimidate Gyarados, and judging by this much lower level 1 from a random gym trainer easily sponging a headbutt, I know I need more firepower. In addition, his 8th Floatzel is the fastest Pokemon I have faced so far, and will most likely outspeed me even with my significant level advantage. So I decide to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'm already getting pretty close to Head Smash, and you'd have to think I'd outspeed a level 30 Floatzel at level 43, right? So that's just what I do. It does take a while, nearly an hour of real time grinding against trainers with the Versus Seeker over and over again, but after that time, I do reach the magical level 43 and now have the most powerful move imaginable. This is still far from a guarantee though. 80% accurate is less than reliable, and I know I need to hit at least 2 head smashes. The big unknown variable is Quagsire, as I need to keep enough HP to live recoil from hitting both Floatzel and Gyarados. The battle starts off well, with me landing my first head smash. As you can see, recoil is the biggest issue with this move alongside the previously mentioned accuracy. Quagsire can make or break the run, and while I do just about half with Headbutt, it chooses to go for Tail Whip. I have to go for the higher power Zen Headbutt and hope that's enough, and it is. Last is his Floatzel, and this is the moment of truth. I'm able to outspeed, hit my head smash, as I walk away with yet another first try victory and my 4th gym badge. There's another 2 rival battles to match the next 2 gym battles, but he's more of a pest at this point than an actual challenge. After smashing his team into the next dimension, getting the secret potion from Cynthia to disperse the Psyduck, and then getting Surf from Cynthia's grandmother, it's time for Fantina. Man, if you thought the Gardenia fight was a tough battle, that one doesn't compare to the sheer agony that Fantina caused me. Playing on screen now are just some of my attempts to defeat her. I can't go for Head Smash against the Drifblim, as while that would easily dispatch of it, it wouldn't surprise me if I just straight up died to the combination of recoil and aftermath. This means I'm forced to go for Zen Headbutt, which all of a sudden decided to become like a 70% accurate move. Seriously, I understand that when her Drifblim went for minimizes, I would start hitting less, but it's almost like her entire team started off with a minimize. To rub even more salt in the wound, her Mismagius outspeeds and can either hacks me with a Confuse Ray or just kill me with its powerful move selection. Great, now I have both hacks working against me and the Magical Leaf PTSD is here. Every time I feel like I was close, I either straight up died to Mismagius or it spared me only for Cranidos to hit itself in confusion. After what must have been at least double-digit resets, I finally had enough and decided to change up my strategy. You can see me debating about teaching Payback, a great Dark-type move that would surely OHKO Mismagius. However, at the end of the day, I actually went with Blizzard to hopefully avoid aftermath from Drifblim. After all the Zen Headbutt misses, somehow Blizzard not only connects twice in a row, but I actually managed to freeze the damn thing, allowing me to go into the Mismagius fight at full HP. Even luckier still, Fantina uses the worst move in her arsenal, Psybeam, which allows me to have plenty of HP after dispatching Mismagius with Head Smash. However, all of this progress is in peril when Gengar comes out, outspeeds Cranidos with a Confuse Ray, and then dodges the Zen Headbutt. At this point, the odds are so stacked against me that I prepare to reset, but somehow, someway, Cranidos pulls through and I've made it out alive with 5 gym badges. Once again, I am confronted by my rival, and once again, I walk away with an easy dub. I'm hopeful this is a good sign for the upcoming Steel Gym, as Byron is no pushover in this particular matchup. If I was smart, I would have used Fire Blast, as that deals with literally all the Steel-type Pokemon in this gym outside of Byron's ace, Bastiodon. But May of 2020 Trev keeps making questionable decisions, which leads to making both past and present Trev's life harder. After slowly making my way towards Byron, I am finally ready to take him on. Still without Fire Blast for some reason. Whatever. Speaking of whatever, this first battle is a big case of whatever. Missed the turn 1 head smash into hitting turn 1 hypnosis. Yep, that's an immediate reset. The second try brings back memories of my final Gardenia attempt, in that the AI makes the most mind-blowingly bad decisions. After demolishing the lead Bronzor with a head smash, I make a point to show you why you should just run Fire Blast. Heck, I'm pretty sure I could have gotten Flamethrower at this point if I was concerned about accuracy. Anyways, after some Rock Smash drops, I'm able to get to the Bastiodon with a mere 20 HP. Game over, right? Wrong. The game must have really felt bad for the Fantina battle, as I get a Rock Smash defense drop followed by the most inexplicable rest play I've ever seen. With that drop, Dos Okos the Dawn, and I steal the 6th gym badge. After questioning who's been the worst battler this run so far, me or the AI, I can make my way further into the story, which would take me to Snowpoint City and the gym leader who shall not be named. However, now equipped with strength, I can make a short detour to pick up the best coverage move in the entire game, TM26 Earthquake. Would have been nice to have this like 4 gyms ago, but beggars can't be choosers. Mount Coronet always annoyed me when I was younger, to the point where sometimes I would stop entire playthroughs just to avoid having to go there. Nowadays, it's not that really big of a deal. The snow route continues, however, to be a big pain in the ass. Speaking of snow, we've reached Snowpoint Gym, and it's time to face Voldemort. Voldemort, you may exclaim. That's not the name of the 7th gym leader. While you would be right, my friend. Just like Voldemort, the 7th gym leader is thou who shall not be named. You can try, of course, in the comment section below, but do so at your own risk. Anyways, while I showed me getting EQ earlier, I didn't show off that I obtained yet another powerful physical move, Return. Said move is what I'll use to sweep 3/4 of her team, with her Abomasnow catching the most powerful head smashes. We now find ourselves just 1 badge away from completing the gym challenge. Before we can make our way to Sunny Shore, we have the largest stretch of story progression yet. We must take on Team Galactic at 4 places. First, I battle Saturn at the freshly destroyed Lake Valor. At this level, he's a pushover at best, so on to the Mars rematch at Lake Verity. Like her fellow Galactic commander, she too falls rather easily. The last lake to check up on is Lake Acuity. However, it is not quite time for the Jupiter rematch. First, we must head down to the Team Galactic headquarters in Veilstone City, where we have 2 more big boss battles. First up is the boss man himself, Leader Cyrus. His whole team is unevolved at this point, so it's some easy pickings for Cranidos. There's a little bit of foreshadowing, however, when his Sneasel outspeeds and gets off a big chunk with an Ice Punch before going down. I can tell the rematch is going to see Cranidos getting outsped multiple times. Before we leave the headquarters, we have yet another rematch with Saturn, and his second battle is just as easy as the first. After freeing Uxie, Mesprit, and Azelf, it's time to take on Team Galactic at one last location, Mount Coronet. Traversing through the caves leading up to Spear Pillar, we pick up a very key move for the endgame, TM80 Rock Slide. Despite being an upgrade to Head Smash accuracy-wise, I decide to hold off on teaching it until it becomes absolutely necessary. After a long trek through caves and galactic grunts, we've reached the peak. We get to watch as Cyrus brings forth Dialga and then attempts to control it with the red chain. Before we can stop him, we team up with our rival in a double battle against Mars and Jupiter. Apparently Barry is really hated by the commanders because while they keep wailing on his poor Pokemon, knocking out 2 of them, Cranidos gets out unscathed. Nobody in Team Galactic has defeated us yet, but this rematch against Cyrus is about to change that. He now sports 4 Pokemon, the same 3 from before but fully evolved, and he's now also added a Gyarados. The Honchkrow is no problem, going down to a single return. Gyarados in a vacuum is also not a problem. What is a problem is Intimidate mixed with massive Head Smash recoil. Recoil that is then additionally mixed with Weavile's insane speed means that I can't outspeed the Weavile, Head Smash the Weavile, or even kill it with return. And to my annoyance, there is no saving between the tag team battle and the Cyrus battle, meaning I had to do the tag battle all over again. Thankfully, the solution was rather simple. Simply teach Cranidos Rock Slide, and then use that to kill all 4 of his Pokemon. Cyrus really loves his rock weak Pokemon, and while it could have gotten dicey at the end with Weavile's Ice Punch and Crobat's Confuse Ray, Cranidos breaks through for the one-shot sweep. After dealing with Team Galactic permanently, I then show Dialga what a real Time God Pokemon looks like and take it down with a single Earthquake. On to Sunny Shore and the final gym. I already know I've got the 8th gym in the bag. Even though Volkner's team in Diamond isn't quite as weak to EQ spam as his Platinum team is, the combination of strong Rock Stab and Earthquake should easily win me the badge, factoring in my level advantage as well. Before I do so, however, I've got some more shopping to do in Veilstone, but not at the department store this time. At the Veilstone Game Corner, I purchased 6,000 coins and then used those coins to purchase the Substitute and Swords Dance TMs. While Substitute will most likely be a niche choice at best, I can promise you that Swords Dance will help carry the endgame. Speaking of the endgame, let's reach it by defeating Volkner. As I previously mentioned, Volkner is pretty much a pushover for Cranidos. The one scary part of the battle was against Octillery, as it lived multiple powerful attacks and got off a devastating Octazooka coupled with an accuracy drop. Luckily, this did not end up being a factor, with Luxray going down to a single Earthquake and Ambipom going down to a single Rock Slide. With that, Cranidos has completed the Pokemon Diamond Gym Challenge, and all that's left is the rather infamous Elite Four. Well, that was a slight lie. Our rival is actually the last thing standing between us and the league, and he's finally brought his A game. Lead Staraptor's Intimidate actually forces me to use Head Smash in a few places I would normally not need to, meaning the recoil damage is certainly racking up. At the end of the day though, he still stood no chance thanks to my rather speedy investment, and it's time for the real deal. Starting with the Bug Specialist, Aaron. To the absolute surprise of no one, Aaron never had a chance against Cranidos. Dustox goes down to a single return, and Rock Slide dispatches of Heracross, Beautifly, and Vespiquen. While I could take out Drapion with a single Earthquake, I give him a fighting chance. It does mean I take some damage, but ultimately there was never any doubt. On to Bertha and her Ground-type Pokemon. This was a battle I was fearing since the start. Not only am I weak to Ground, she also has all of the bulky Ground types, meaning I'll likely not be able to one-shot anything. While I made sure to teach Blizzard before the first attempt, I did forget to heal. This doesn't matter for the first 2 mons, as first Quag turns itself into fodder with Dig. Wishcash is able to get off negligible damage with Rock Slide, but ultimately goes down to the combo of Rock Slide and Return. In third is the mon I worried about the most, Hippowdon. I've got Blizzard specifically for this reason, to target its lower SPDF stat. However, Cranidos and Hippo decide to challenge each other to a missing contest. A contest that Cranidos does end up winning by missing the most and fainting. While I was tempted to bust out Swords Dance at this point, I decided I would give this battle another shot. The first 2 Pokemon go down similar to the first time. I am able to hit my Blizzard on the first try this time as Crunch takes me down to pretty low health. I know another Blizzard will just put it in heal range, so I gamble on a Rock Slide flinch, which I do not get. Thankfully, Bertha finds this is a great time to set up. Even when I miss the follow-up Blizzard, she still keeps setting up. I don't miss a second time, and in comes Golem, which immediately dies to Earthquake. As she sends in her Sudowoodo, I'm thinking I have this battle in the bag. only for the Sudowoodo to pull out the surprise Sucker Punch. I'm at such low HP, I'm thinking that this is the end for me. But, for the second time in this run, I live on a very lucky 1 HP, and unlike the last time, I make sure to capitalize on it and earn the W. I would say Flint the Fire type trainer is up next, but he's not too much of a fire trainer in this game, is he? The fact that he doesn't only use fire types actually makes this quite a bit harder in this game. Rapidash goes down to a single Earthquake, but not before getting off some damage. Same scenario happens with Flint's Infernape, and Cranidos isn't looking so hot on HP right now. Lopunny looks to drive the final nail in the coffin by lowering my attack with Charm, though Flint circumvents this by merely screeching twice, which allows me to take out the Steelix with 2 EQs and a Blizzard. I make an equally head-scratching play in return, choosing to go for Head Smash when I knew Recoil would take me out against a Drifloon. -2 Rock Slide most likely wouldn't kill, but I'd at least have a chance of winning. I decide to finally break out the big guns and teach Cranidos the Double Dance strategy of Rock Polish and Swords Dance. Technically, Double Dance refers to the strategy of Dragon Dance plus Swords Dance, but I like to use the term with a mon using any 2 setup moves. This strategy leads to a quick, somewhat tense victory, taking only a Sun-boosted Flare Blitz and super effective Mach Punch in return. And just like that, only Lucian, the Psychic type master, remains from the Elite Four. He proves to be a bit problematic. While Mr. Mime is an easy one-shot, Medicham lives in red and does the same amount of damage back with a Drain Punch. After another 2 follow-up EQs, Bronzong should easily finish me off, but Gen 4 AI strikes again, allowing me to 2-hit KO with Mold Breaker EQ. My first thoughts of winning this battle are short-lived, as Alakazam proves to be faster than me, ending my first attempt. This proves I need to get at least 1 Rock Polish to have a chance to win, but I really wanted to try and get a Double Dance up to ensure I could OHKO the Medicham and Bronzong as well. This took some maneuvering, and on my 7th try, I'm able to both get up a Rock Polish and then 2 SDs to circumvent the Reflect. From here, I have the power to sweep the rest of Lucian's team, and he can do nothing to stop it. With that last KO against Girafarig, only one stands in my way: Champion Cynthia. Cynthia is by far the toughest trainer in the game, boasting the highest levels, most diverse team, and perfect IVs on all of her Pokemon. Will my Double Dance strat be enough for a first try victory, or will Cynthia cause me the most resets out of any battle so far? Let's find out. Cynthia's lead is always Spirit Tomb, which should hopefully allow me to set up what I need. I start off with 1 Rock Polish, and now I know I can outspeed everything. I am very unsure if a +2 Earthquake will be enough for her tanky Garchomp, so I gamble for +4. The incoming Psychic brings me down to just 6 HP thanks to a crit, so it's time to start attacking. Starting off with an EQ, down goes Spirit Tomb. Up next is the always fat Gastrodon, but even its great bulk isn't enough to save it. Here's where I thought my run would end, at the hands of Lucario's extreme speed. But no, either she did not have it or just did not choose to go for it. I only have 2 EQ power points left, so I need to hit a Rock Slide against my Milotic, which I do. This leads to the key point of the battle. Is a +4 Earthquake truly enough to take out her ace, level 66 Garchomp? As we find out, yes, I can take it down in a single shot. Last, but certainly not least, is Roserade, a fitting Pokemon to finish out the run. 1 last Earthquake easily dispatches of Roserade, and with that final Pokemon defeated, Cranidos has proven its worth and defeated Pokemon Diamond all by itself. Thank you to everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please make sure to like and or subscribe. I'm still on the climb to 300, so let's see if we can get there by the end of 2021. I've hopefully got another video planned for later this week, followed up by 2 last big challenge videos to end off the year. Please make sure to tune in for those, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!